A new Google Gemini 3.5 leaks are insane. You're wasting hours testing AI models that can barely handle your workflows. Meanwhile, developers just got access to Google's secret Gemini 3.5 checkpoint. It's not officially released. It's not even announced, but it's building entire game emulators in a single prompt, and you can access it right now. I'm showing you exactly how to trigger these leaked Gemini 3.5 checkpoints that Google didn't mean to release yet. Here's the situation. Google is internally testing what the community is calling Gemini 3.5, not the public Gemini 3 that just launched. We're talking about advanced checkpoints, experimental builds, and they're leaking into Google AI Studio through A/B testing. The most powerful one has the code name Snow Bunny, and what it can do is honestly insane. A developer named Jared Liu prompted this thing to build a Nintendo Game Boy emulator, 3,000 lines of code with CPU emulation, memory management, input handling, timing logic, and display pipeline in one shot. The thing actually booted real ROMs with only minor fixes needed. Another developer, Chatus Lua, followed up with similar results, one-shotting complex game simulations that would normally take days to scaffold. This is the Snow Bunny checkpoint, an internal Google build that's not supposed to be public yet, but it's showing up in AI Studio for users who know how to trigger the A/B tests. Google hasn't officially branded anything as Gemini 3.5. That's what the developer community named it, because it's clearly beyond the public Gemini 3 release, way beyond. Here's why this leak matters. Most AI models give you code snippets, maybe 100 lines if you're lucky. Snow Bunny is generating complete applications from a single detailed prompt. Full systems with thousands of lines of coherent code. This isn't an incremental update, this is a different class of capability. Let me show you what we're actually dealing with. Google is testing multiple Gemini 3.5 codenames on their La Marina platform right now. Snow Bunny is the most advanced, but there's also Fierce Falcon and Ghost Falcon. These showed up on LM Arena where models get tested anonymously before official release. Fierce Falcon crushes speed and precision tasks. Ghost Falcon dominates creative work like SVG generation and UI design. Both are likely variants being refined for what might eventually become official Gemini 3 Flash or Gemini 3 Pro GA releases. But right now, they're internal testing builds, leaked checkpoints that aren't supposed to be accessible yet. The Snow Bunny checkpoint in particular is what has the developer community going crazy. It's the one building Game Boy emulators. It's the one generating 3,000 line applications in single prompts. And it's accessible right now through a specific method I'll show you. The performance jump is massive. We're talking 35% improvement in coding accuracy compared to Gemini 2.5 Pro on the Humanities Last Exam benchmark, which tests genuine reasoning instead of pattern matching. Gemini 3 with Deep Think mode scored over 40%. That's nearly double what GPT 5.1 managed at 17.6%. On SWE Bench Verified, which tests actual GitHub issue solving, these models hit 78%. That means they're solving real bugs in production code, not toy problems. For context, Gemini 2.5 Pro scored 59.6% on the same benchmark. That's a massive jump in practical coding ability. The mathematical reasoning improvements are equally impressive. On AIM 2025, the model hits 95% without tools and 100% with code execution enabled. On Math Arena Apex, which tests mathematical logic and problem formulation, Gemini 3 scored 23.4%, setting a new state-of-the-art for frontier models. These aren't just incremental improvements, these are generational leaps, but here's what nobody's talking about. These leaked checkpoints maintain coherence across thousands of lines of code. They understand entire systems, consistent abstractions, proper state management, clean interfaces. This is systems-level thinking, not just algorithm challenges. Now let me be real with you. When I first started using these advanced models, I was completely overwhelmed. Too many options. Conflicting advice everywhere. I didn't know which prompts actually worked versus which ones were just hype. The official Gemini 3 that Google released publicly is already impressive. It scores well on benchmarks. It's competitive with GPT-5 and Claude. But these leaked 3.5 checkpoints we're talking about, they're the next iteration. Internal testing builds that Google is refining before any official announcement. The Snow Bunny checkpoint specifically shows capabilities that aren't in the public Gemini 3 release. The ability to maintain coherence across thousands of lines, the systems level architecture understanding, the one-shot complex application building. This is what's coming next. And right now, while it's leaking through A/B tests, you can access it. Now, here's what you need to understand. These are experimental Gemini 3.5 checkpoints, not official releases, Google hasn't announced anything called Gemini 3.5. That's the community designation for these leaked internal builds. Behavior can change without notice. Access could disappear if Google closes the A B test. But right now, developers are reporting consistent access and real results from Snow Bunny and the other leaked checkpoints. The deep think mode on these leaked 3.5 checkpoints shows its reasoning process. You can see how Snow Bunny breaks down complex problems step by step. It's a learning tool for understanding systematic problem solving. The coding improvements in these leaked builds are significant. On the hieroglyphic benchmark testing lateral reasoning, the Snow Bunny checkpoint scored 80%, outperforming GPT-5 and Claude Opus on tasks requiring genuine intelligence, novel problem solving, not memorization. This is what separates the leaked Gemini 3.5 checkpoints from the official public releases. Access to powerful tools doesn't automatically make you productive. You need to know how to prompt them effectively. These leaked Gemini 3.5 checkpoints are the preview of what's coming. Go to Google AI Studio now. Cycle through chats until you trigger the dual model interface. Test Snow Bunny, Fierce Falcon, or Ghost Falcon with relevant prompts, see where they excel and where they struggle. Build that understanding while this leaked access is available, because once Google officially releases these as Gemini 3.5 or whatever they end up calling it, this early access opportunity is gone. Learning to use leaked checkpoints like Snow Bunny right now gives you an advantage, not because the tools do everything, but because you'll understand the next generation capabilities before they're officially released. You'll know how to prompt them, what they can handle, what they can't. These leaked Gemini 3.5 checkpoints aren't perfect. They won't replace developers, but the evidence is real. Game Boy emulators, complex simulations, 3,000 line applications, all built with single prompts by developers who figured out how to access Snow Bunny and the other leaked builds